Hey guys, it's Ellen and it's Friday. So you know what Friday is? Floral Friday on my channel here on YouTube. Today we're going to work on a watercolor botanical, but it's actually pen and ink also, and so drawing. So it's a kind of a vintage botanical kind of looking tutorial here. I go over this step by step, how to draw these blooms, and then ink them in, and then we just wash them in with some simple watercolor. This is so much fun and easy to do, and it has a beautiful look. This would be great for greeting cards, any kind of gift that you want to give somebody. You can blow it up and make it into a big pattern, make a little wallpaper out of it, who knows. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'd love to hear if you like pen and ink and wash, what your thoughts are. Also check out my Patreon. I have ad-free videos, traceables, exclusive tutorials on Thursdays, and a live stream on the top tier once a month for me. You can check it out in a few seconds in the right hand corner, and it'll pop up right there. So without further ado, let's get doodling. Yes. Alright guys, so I'm going to go over some of the things I'm going to be drawing with. I'm going to be using a 2H pencil to draw the initial flower, and then I can go back in and ink it with a Sharpie ultra fine point or the super fine point. This pen's are great for non-bleed, by the way, if you have sketchbooks. I love them. I don't like to have to paint. This one will bleed through a sketchbook, just to let you know. And then I'm using today Arches 100% cotton hot press paper. It's a smoother paper. We're not really worrying about what I'm wetting with this. It's just having fun creating, like drawing and then putting in the pen and ink and then just washing in a little color. It's like a cool pattern we can create. So, and I'm also have the camera on a different angle now, so you can see. Some people were complaining that they couldn't see me because my hands are like right in front of the painting, which kind of makes sense. So I'm going to be doing it on an angle. Let me zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to take the pencil. We're going to start off by making these little small flowers. You can make them bigger if you want, but I'm going to make little tiny ones. So for the, I'll do a bunch of different spring flowers, like a daffodil. I'll start off by making the what do you call it, cup shape. So it's an upside down cup shape. I'm going a little zoom in a little more. So basically, you could do like a U on its side, right? And then attach this, and then go in a circle. See the little circle? And then from there, you draw these little petals. It kind of looks like a star. I'm not going to do all around. You see, I just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here I'll put the stem in, and I'll put the leaf out this way. And then I'll do another one up here and bends down with a little bud. See that? And so for here, I'm gonna put all these flowers kind of like all around each other here, so it's like a little pattern. And you could do some leaves too. So it'd be kind of fun to do maybe we have yellow over here. We could do maybe a pansy. So pansies, I have a video on pansies. Draw this up here. So it's like an upside down, kind of like an upside down heart. Maybe I'll make this a little bit smaller. Like this. And then you have a little petal shape here, here. And you curve one back here and here. That's a little bit bigger than I wanted to make. So I'm going to make it smaller so you can see. Little heart. Go back in here. There we go. Like that. Getting used to drawing is a great tool to help you create better paintings. So the leaves are just kind of, for the stem, I just kind of curve the line here, and the leaves are just little bumps here and kind of connect them back. Bump, 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 connect them back. Right? We can move on to like a poppy. You just kind of have like I would say like a more of a circle. Oval here. See? Oops, sorry. Oval to start with, and then do another one for the center, right? But then from here, I'm going to take my pencil, go out, wiggle, wiggle line here. Going to have this one curve back in here, and there's our poppy. And again, curve the stem, and put another one out here and bend, and then we have like a more of an oval shape. That's the bud and little leaves off that. And then leaves are kind of funky. They're just like up and point, back and point, back and point like that. Just like that. And then you could do simple daisies. I mean, I think you guys could draw a daisy, oval, simple daisy petals. If you make them shorter on this side and longer on this side, it's like foreshadowing for the daisy, so it's not just this head-on face daisy. And of course the stems, we can add some little half buds here. And a daisy leaf is more like this. Go out, come back in, out, in, like that. Right? And then we'll do some other just simple, we can do like a bluebell type of flower. Just bend down, see, like an anchor, make like a little bell. I have a tutorial on that, so you can go look back and look at that. Add some little sprays. Just move around the page here at this point. Maybe we have a purple flower kind of coming in here. Do another yellow daisy or a different type of yellow flowers or even blue flowers. Just kind of like 4 petal flowers, see? 4 or 5 petal flowers with a stem. It could be like buttercups. Little leaves. And once you start drawing in all your little flowers, I'm gonna go up here and just keep making some more. You can make ones that are kind of like this. See how I make these stems connected? Right? And then you could just have some funky flowers with a little tall thing here. So I basically did a stem, wiggle little lines. I'll show you when I'm drawing with the pen. It's a little bit easier than pencil. I'm making up these kind of flowers. They don't have to be like realistic. You can throw in. So you go back over here, and here, and here. Just follow your trace. And then from the center, we're going to have the little stamens coming out here. Kind of going in here. And you can have some nice little rigid lines to make it look like an antique vintage botanical. See? Then you just go on the stem here. Outline that stem. And those funky leaves. You can put a line right in the middle, a vein, and then go back here. You're tracing all their little, and here's the poppy bud. And poppies have those little spikes kind of off their little stems. So I'm doing little spikes. See that? And then from here you can just make little lines. Like I said, you can make the little lines. The poppy. Come up here. It looks like a little vintage botanical, right? Daisy, same thing. So you just fill it in. I'm making little short ones in the front. And then the inner part, just making these little lines that are coming out from the center. See? And then again, outlining that stem here with the little half one. Came out the little lines, and then the leaves, and put a little vein. Look how cute that is already. Sorry if I'm missing this out of the picture, but I think you guys can figure that out. See, once you get all these little drawings kind of filled in, there's the bell. For the pansy, I'll show you that one more. Again, we're going to do out the outline here. Kind of looks like Mickey Mouse ears, and then that little heart on the bottom, right? There's a little center, and a wiggle on the outer part coming here, and then here. And again, we're going to outline that stem, and then the leaf is kind of just like this little kind of wiggly leaf. And then so from here, we'll have those little center lines going from the center of the pansy outward. And you can make little teeny lines kind of on an outer edge too, going in. If you really want to have that vintage botanical look, get a little bit darker by adding more lines in the center. See? It's all a matter of how much you use the pen or not. And here I shaded it in the back, that back petal. See? Same thing with the little leaves too. You want to get real technical and you can add all these little marks. It makes it look a little more botanical. Now here's the daffodil. So we have that like half cup. Here around the oval, you kind of want to make a little wiggle. We already do the oval, just wiggle around it. All right, the little stamens can come out here, little dots in the ends. And then we have the little star kind of petals, right? They're kind of like this. And again, outlining the leaves. And then we have the bud connecting, little flappy hat right here. And then again with these leaves, lines going in and outward, right? And then for the inside of the daffodil, little lines in here. Give it a little shading. You can put a couple of little lines in the outer one and get a little bit darker. And you can get a little darker underneath the stem too. See? Then I'll add the lines to the daffodil leaf. I'll add another leaf out here. So many things you could do. And then just, like I said, you can just add some nice pretty leaves. They don't even have to be all flowers. You just want to go around the page. And here's this funky one that I was talking about. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3. See, they're kind of all in a V connecting. And we can add little leaf here, little leaves on the side. And I kind of just do like a stem here and just these little, get a little bit bigger. So you catch that? Let me zoom in so you can see. So it's a little stem line. It's almost like a lilac, and you get a little bit bigger, or lupin. Little loops. You can get a little bit bigger as you go down. This is just a made-up flower. Nothing says you have to be realistic. I can get even a little squigglier. See, I'm getting a little much more squiggles. And you add some leaves and no one would know that it wasn't a realistic spring flower. Just looks like a little pretty, you know, floral bunch. Just squiggling it, and then add some leaves, make it interesting. And that's all you do throughout the page. You could add like another little petal flower. This kind of looks like buttercup. And again, from the center, that's my doodle, making a little shaky. Connect these little stems, draw little leaves, and you can have the little lines coming from the center outward. Yeah. All kinds of flowers you can do. You can do roses. I mean, there's a plethora of information on the internet that you can find realistic botanicals and leaves. We can just do some leaves themselves kind of out here hanging out. If you want to put in a little butterfly, that can be kind of cool. Maybe just a little head, the body, the wing, flying in between all the little botanical prints. I'm just making a little teeny butterfly in here. And get creative with it. Again, this one can look like a funky kind of fuzzy daisy. You could have the whole thing just be daisy doodles. This is just something to do when you're a little stressed out and you want to have fun and you don't want some pressure. I love sketching and I find it very therapeutic. There's so many different things you can do with it. Let's try another one. I'm not even going to do the pencil. I'm just going to go for the pen. Wild, I know. Do a center. Let's do like a little flower petals like this. See, kind of wiggle them and make them pointy. And then I'll add another one here. I'm going for it. Like little stars. You can kind of connect them to one stem and then put another one out here. Maybe a little half one. And then little teeny stems off those. And then again, you go in here in the center, outward, and add those little lines. And then you can just repeat some of these other ones. I can make a crocus. I didn't do tulips. I didn't do any tulips, but it would be small tulips. So for a tulip, again, I always say like a U. A little U. Right? And then I'll have another one in the middle. Kind of connect them like that. And a tulip stem. The leaves are like long and kind of go out like this. They can kind of go like that. And then you'll see the ridges and the lines and the leaves. And then from this part, just go here and you just make little lines right here on the edges of the tulip. Tiptoe. And we can get a little darker with our lines if you want to. I have another little cluster of violets because they're kind of delicate. So, do the little stem going this way, the upside down heart, the little bunny ears I call them, and then you could have like another ears behind here. Same thing here, right? And then we have like a little one, little bud. And we do another one, the little bud. And I'll draw that in. See the upside down, the little heart, little bunny ears, the center, round one behind it, another one. Do it again. And then is the stem. Connect the stem. And we do this same thing again. We bend. And then we have almost like little flaps. And this one too, flaps. And then little buds. And then we get the center, and then from here, you do those little lines again. You can put some lines one behind it, so it's like shading almost. We have our little violets, and then you can add some of the leaves in the bottom. See this kind of like typical leaves, and put some veins. So if you think of a leaf shape, it is a, let's see if I can grab. Curve line, and then from here, it's always just variations of like the edges, right? This is your typical leaf. So if you did the curve line, but then you add like little bumps. See that? That's another leaf. If you pencil in curve line, but then you want to go out and in, out and in, out and in. That's how you get the variations of the leaves. And then some don't even have that. They just kind of go out like this. And then some are just skinny. Those are all the various leaves. Some could have little bumps. Do that with your flowers. It's good to look at photographs of them. And then here we'll just do some more leaves. Why not? Have fun. There's no rules. It's just good to fill in the whole page. You know, I could do another simple daisy flower out here. Whatnot. Single flower. We did so many. My little leaf got a little mushy, but that's okay. You're not even going to notice it when you put all the little lines in. right? And I could put another butterfly in here. So it's a little round ball, a little stick, up and over, like a little kind of awkward oval. And then you do like a little petal kind of here. And you add a little. And then in here you can do anything you want. You can put little circles, you can have little stems, make it look like a little flower. Add another one inside. You can add outside little ridges. See, I'm adding little teeny ridges on the outside. And you have a cute flower. I mean, excuse me, butterfly. Make teeny little flowers. So you can put a little bud here. Teeny weeny ones. We're going to be filling in the whole page. Just a daisy head, if you want to do that, with just maybe a little stem. Fill it all in. Fill it all in, then we're going to talk about color with watercolor. So here I am just going to fill in this whole entire sheet that I have of all the little flowers, add all the little spaces that are missing. See, I kind of penciled them in. I'm going to go fill them all in now. Sorry if some of the video got cut off. See, I tried a new angle and look what happened. And it's hard to tell when I'm filming. I try and go back and forth. I'll get much better at it, people. Please forgive me for this horrible one today, but I will get much better. I hope you can forgive me. But see, I'm just going around the page, filling it all in, adding little doodle flowers. You can do this for hours on end. Just fill your page in. Actually, you can go even tighter than I did. I have them kind of spaced out. You can go really, put the flowers really close to each other, in and out. You could paint in between the flowers, which I didn't do at the end, but you know, we're going to go into painting in a few minutes, but there's so many different variations you can do on this, and it's so much fun. It's very relaxing. I find it very relaxing and enjoyable. If you're sitting around, you're like, what to do? Just keeps your mind off things. I love it. So yeah, this is something you can do when you don't have to think about anything to do. Just doodle some flowers or bugs and butterflies. It's a lot of fun. So once you have everything drawn, like you see here, then you can just go and take your paintbrush. I'm going to grab just a Princeton 8 round today, and your paints, right? And I have a new color, by the way. Did I show you that? Lilac. Holbein has so many colors you can choose from, and you can just use them from the actual color tube. See? I'm going to water it down. So this is another fun color to play with. I like to buy different colors. I could use it in the pansy. You see? And I have a paper towel here, by the way. You just kind of fill in right over that. Just ink and wash. See how pretty that is? I can take this verditer blue that I have, kind of bleed that in here. Put some behind it if I want to do that. I also like to mix ultramarine blue, which is such a nice blue, with any kind of nice bright pink, which is magenta, and you get this nice purple, bluish purple. I don't think they bled well. And when you actually have hot press, they don't really bleed well, so you kind of just have to paint the color in. See, I'm going to go back in with this purple that I made and just kind of tap in the color. I'm not really struggling putting the paint in there. I'm just kind of slightly tapping it in there. See that? Now, you don't have to make it this dark too, but it's just fun to do all this stuff. For the poppy, you can keep it red. I have a nice cadmium red light that I like. And water that down. Just kind of go in here. Not too much water. That's why I keep a paper towel close by. Now you can use this kind of this style that we did here on very inexpensive paper. You know, and then I'll just grab some greens and just lightly stick them in the stems and the leaves. So I have a nice light pale green. I can go back in and add a nice darker green. I'll just take the green and go around all the different stems that I have. See, I'm just like really fast sticking this color in. Oops, I went over my lines. That's okay. No one will know. Just go around your page here and just start to fill it all in. These ones are a little bit darker, so I'm going to leave that. And then some of these stem leaves will be different too. So try and keep that a little bit different on some of these. But see, you just kind of loosely stick the color in here. Cleaning off my brush. I can grab this beautiful verditer blue for the little bluebells that I kind of did here. This color is getting a little muddy. And when you finish, it's going to look so pretty. See, I wouldn't bleed the color in this particular tutorial. Just grab some blues, put in a little ultramarine to make it darker. And if you go outside the lines, that's perfectly fine. I'm making some more darker green with some cadmium yellow deep and some Prussian blue. I don't want it too dark though, and some burnt umber. Just because I want to be able to see the black line. So maybe just make a darker color, but kind of water it down a little bit. And then I'll go and fill it in here. So it's a different color green than the one we had before. But you want to still see those little lines. That's the whole point of it. And you don't have to be painting right in between all the lines, like I said. If you go outside of them, it's not a big deal. And just fill up your page. See, just take that other green and I'll use it on some of these other flowers that we have. Can go back and can put two tones in the tulip if you want. I kind of find it looks more kind of a vintage botanical if you have kind of one color tone. I'm adding a little brown to my green, so it's a little more olivey. That gives it a vintage look also. So I have like 3 different greens going here. And I'll just go around to all the stems first. Kind of play around putting those colors in. You can even just have like the peacock blue with a little yellow, so make it more of a turquoisey green. Just going and filling all this in. And you can go back and forth with the different greens. I'm going to grab a different green here. And then we're just going to fill in all the little colors. These are little tiny doodle kind of flowers, so if, like I said, if you go outside the line, that's fine. And if it seems to look too pale, you can always just go back in and add some more color. So I'm going to take the yellow, my daffodil, get that pretty. I can add a little orange to it. All these little things we can do. The poppies don't always have to be red, they could be pink too, or orange. There's a little red pinky one down here. And take that pink color and kind of move it around the page here. Fill it in. This would be crocus, I wouldn't make that pink. Figure out where else we could do some pink colors, maybe in the butterfly. Could be a little pink. I find that if you have the color on your brush, you move it around, and then it's much easier to paint faster, number one, and it has like a nice cohesive look because you're moving it all around. You're not concentrating on one color or one section. So here I'm going to grab the purple now. Fill in these little violets. And then I'll take that and I'll bring it down to the crocus. And then I'll look around my page and I'll see where else I would like some purple. Maybe little dizzy purple flowers here. Then I just kind of drew in these little ditty flowers. Same thing with the yellow. We stopped at the yellow, but we can go back in with the yellow. And then we could do all the yellow we could do yellow daisies. So you go around the page again. You know, where all the little, this is like a buttercup. Yellow, orange. And the color can be as bright or as pale as you'd like it to be. And I'll do some yellow ones up here. I just drew in these little simple little flowers. And then the other yellow one up here. I'm not going to leave it white because I want to make it colorful. You see how I went around the page? And then you can go down here also. And you go back, same thing, doing the same thing with your greens, go around the page. Go around the page, as I call it, but really it's a piece of paper. Add the greens. So we're going to fill all these colors in. Make whatever you want. These little guys up here, see how they're so small? You don't have to worry so much about painting in the individual little markings. You can just take your blue, I'm going to use my verditer blue, and just kind of tap around what you drew. See, I'm just tippy tapping. You get the idea that there's these blue little kind of funky, delicate flowers, and then you could add some pretty ultramarine blue, bleeding it on the edge or on the bottom. So I'm going to go around and fill in some of these flowers, and then we're going to talk about butterflies. Okay guys, so I kind of filled in almost all my flowers, like you would do the same. And for the butterflies, you know, you can be creative. You don't have to be looking like a monarch butterfly. I just kind of threw in some oranges in this one. I might throw in some purples and some pretty blues on this one. You know, you don't have to make them look like realistic butterflies. This is your creation. You know, mix it up. It could be some yellow with some blue. Keep it creative. And then for the poppies, all these other flowers, you can go back in and add another round of color if you wanted to do the two tones. See, I'm adding in more color. I'm going to the pass while it's dry. A little bit, just a little bit color. Same thing with the other ones, the yellows, the purples. And then for the center, I grab my neutral tint color and I'll make a little concentrated, hardly any water on this one. So I will fill that in. You can just do it with the, you could also do it with the pen. You don't even have to do it with the paint. Some of these I'm in a little black area here. Play around with little black dots. Fill in the all the other flowers, centers. You know, I'm doing little black ones on these ones. Like I said, make the butterflies unique. Have fun with it. Like I have a pink one here. Let me put some dark magenta in the center. Do little dots of yellow on the outside, yellow orange. It doesn't have to be perfect. See, I'm not even going in the lines. I'm just kind of playing around with adding in some orange and red. And then just fill in like the greens the same way. You can add some deeper tones to your pretty little stems here. Once you've painted in the initial, you can go back in and add, if you wanted to, some tones. Yeah, the flowers. Fill the whole page. So I hope the angle here, me painting this way, was much more helpful in drawing also. See, I'm just kind of tip-tapping some colors where I feel like, oh, it's lacking. Needs a little color. Go around and play around with that. So the final result is this beautiful page of all these delicate botanical doodles. It would be great to do it for a card, you know, anything you can think of, bookmarks, all kinds of gifts. Just make a whole page of this. You know, if you're really creative and you want to scan your doodles in and make a pattern out of it, blow them up, put them in a frame, you know, all kinds of things you can do with it. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you have fun doodling and painting. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Tell me if you like doodling. I'd like to know if you like to do more doodles. I'd like to know if this is something that you're interested in. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon.